Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you my absolute fresh citrusy fragrances for the heat of the summer. I don't know about you, but here in northern Italy we are having a heat wave and I am just suffering. I don't work very well with hot, humid weather, although I come from Egypt, but yeah, I just can't. I always hated summer for that reason. And in the very hot days, I only wear citrusy fragrances. These are the only fragrances that work for me. I can't tolerate any other fragrances. So I'm going to share with you my go-to and my absolute favorites. They are all totally unisex, even if some are marketed toward women or toward men. But trust me, they are totally unisex. Citrusy fragrances in general tend to be unisex. And I decided to pick one or two fragrances from each of the citrus families. So I have lime, lemon, grapefruit, oranges, blood orange, and mandarin. So if you are a woman or a man and you love citrusy fragrances and you are searching for the best for the heat of the summer, then please keep on watching. And before we start, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura and on this channel I talk mostly about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. And without further ado, let's start. So this is episode 2 of my summer series. I did one before where I covered my favorite florals. So if you are into more floral fragrances, then definitely check that video. I will link it in the eye up here and in the description down below if you want to watch it. Now let's start with grapefruit. And my pick is Vetiver Pamplemousse from Zara. This is from the Emotion collection, from the collaboration between Zara and Jewels. This came out last year and it's just a beautiful grapefruit fragrance. It's very simple. It has grapefruit, it has mandarin orange and also vetiver. Very fresh, very uplifting. This is like sipping icy cold water when it's very hot and humid. This is the effect this fragrance does to me. I absolutely adore it. And I usually use this for after the shower, and I also use it when I go for a hike when it's very hot. Not that I use fragrances when I hike, but I leave it in the car, and when I finish and I know I can't take a shower, I just spray myself with this one and it just works for me. The only issue with this fragrance is that it's the performance. It has a terrible longevity on my skin, so it lasts for an hour if I am lucky. It does project nicely for the couple of minutes when I first spray it, but mostly it has a really terrible performance. But I mean, for the price, this is 100 ml and I think Zara sells this one for 25 euros. So I don't mind just reapplying the fragrance. So my pick for grapefruit was a Vetiver Pamplemousse from Zara Emotion collection. Now let's move to oranges, and my pick is a no surprise for anyone who knows me. This is Acqua di Parma Arancia di Capri from the Blue Mediterranean line. This is just a limited edition with this cap. This is absolutely beautiful. This is an aromatic orange, so we have, along with the oranges, we have petitgrain, which you can really smell here. You have also cardamom and a lot of citrusy notes, but to me this is mostly oranges and petitgrain. So it's citrusy aromatic. It has some sweetness in it because, you know, oranges have kind of a sweet touch to them, but they added also caramel. And don't be afraid if you look up the notes and you see caramel, because you don't get it very much. I think they just added it to emphasize a little bit of the sweet aspect of the oranges. But yeah, it's a beautiful fragrance, very natural. The thing about Acqua di Parma is that their fragrances smell extremely natural, and this is why I adore this line in general. So if you love oranges and you love natural smelling fragrances, then definitely check Arancia di Capri or the Blue Mediterranean line from Acqua di Parma in general if you are on the hunt for a natural smelling fragrance. The only thing, again, longevity and sillage is not great here. And FYI, all the fragrances that I'm going to talk about don't have like an extremely good performance because these are mostly citrusy fragrances, so this is to be expected. Some have better performance than other, but generally speaking, they don't perform very well. This, I would say, has an intimate sillage, but I would say more of between average and weak longevity. So it does last longer than Vetiver Pamplemousse, but this one projects much better than this one. And although the weak performance, I still love it. You may say for the price it's not worth it, but yeah, I smelled a lot of orange-based citrus fragrances, and this is my favorite one, so this is why I like it, and I actually recommend it, although the price tag. So that was Acqua di Parma, Arancia di Capri. Now from oranges, let's go to blood oranges, and this is Atelier Cologne Orange Sanguine, the best blood orange fragrance. So authentic, you can't even imagine. It's like smelling the whole orange. So you get the juice, you get the peel. It's like cutting when you fresh cut the orange, and you can smell like the juice, and you have like this bitterness from like the peel in your hand. This is how this fragrance smells like. It has a lot of notes. So we have blood orange and bitter orange. We have also florals, but the end result is an authentic blood orange, and it remains till the end like that. This is what I absolutely love about it. Again, this is a fragrance that I usually use after the shower, but it's also my go-to when I go on vacation. As you can see, I did a dent on it. When I go on vacation, because it's very light, it's small, and it works beautifully. Yeah, I love it. When it comes to longevity and sillage, it performs better than the Acqua di Parma one, mainly because it's more sharp and more bitter. I wouldn't say that it remains longer on the skin, but it has a better projection. So this is why for me, it performs a little bit better. But yeah, at the end, they are almost the same. So that was Atelier Cologne Orange Sanguine. Now let's move to mandarins, and this was a no-brainer for me. And this is Guerlain Aqua Allegoria Mandarine Basilic. Absolutely gorgeous. This is the best. This is one of my absolute favorite fresh fragrances. Oh my god. It's fresh, it's uplifting. I wouldn't exactly say it's an authentic representation of mandarins, but it's very close, let's say. So it has, again, a bunch of citruses, so clementine, bitter orange, mandarin orange, etc. And has an interesting note of basil. So again, it's a citrusy aromatic one with a woody undertone, because I think there is sandalwood here, but the whole composition is beautiful. This is my absolute favorite from the Acqua Allegoria line. Hands down, this is the best for me. And this has the same effect that Vetiver Pamplemousse has on me. So it's like drinking an icy cold water when it's very hot and humid. This is how my body reacts when I spray this fragrance. So I absolutely love it. This is one of the best when it comes to performance. So I would say it has more of a moderate longevity. a moderate sillage also if you overspray. So I highly recommend it. So for people who are looking for a fresh Mandarin fragrance with an aromatic touch, definitely check Mandarine Basilic from Guerlain. Now let's go to lemons, and with lemons we have a lot of varieties, and it was very difficult for me to pick my favorite one. So my first pick is from the replica line from Maison Margiela, and it's Under the Lemon Tree. If you watched my buying guide of the replica line, which I will leave linked up here and in the description if you want to watch it, this was one of my absolute favorites. It's like sitting under a lemon tree. So you get a little bit of lemon, you get also like the green, so the leaves, the tree. It's a whole experience. It's for me like sipping green tea under a lemon tree. Surprisingly, this fragrance has no lemon in like the notes. It has lime, it has petitgrain, it has cardamom, it has green tea and a lot of other notes. But to me, this fragrance smells like sitting under a lemon tree while drinking an iced green tea. This is how I can describe it. It's very fresh, a little bit green, and this is my pick for people who love lemons but also tea fragrances, because I actually get it here. It's not very predominant, but I do get it. So Under the Lemon Trees is absolutely beautiful. If you are a tea lover and also love lemon fragrances, then definitely check this one out. Again, longevity and sillage is not the best here, so it's between weak and average longevity and sillage. My next pick was a toss between two niche brands, and it was between Riviera Lazuli from Atelier des Ors and BDK Citrus Riviera. At the end, I went with Citrus Riviera, although I like as a fragrance Riviera Lazuli more, but it's more of an aromatic woody experience than a citrus one. So at the end, I went with BDK Citrus Riviera. This one is unique in its own way. It's a little bit leaning feminine, to be honest, but not too much. It's still totally unisex. Has a bunch of notes. It has lemon, neroli, orange blossom, strawberry, vetiver, tonka bean, patchouli. I mean, there is a lot of notes here. But what you get here is the lemon. There's also mandarin orange. A little bit of the eucalyptus and fig, but really not much. There is a sweetness that comes from orange blossom. There's also neroli. So it's more of a lemon infused with neroli, orange blossom, this kind of a vibe. Very fresh, but very soft and airy. Is a little bit more of a complex fragrance. If you compare it with others that are on my list, it's a little bit soft and airy and has a lot of stuff going on. It's not just citrusy. It's a little bit sweet, it has floral touches, it has also a little bit of an aromatic touch, a little bit fruity, so it's a complex fragrance, but the final result is absolutely beautiful. The only thing about this fragrance is the longevity. It has almost no sillage, it's very intimate, so maybe people who are close to you, who are sitting beside you, will smell you, but you can smell yourself also. But yeah, it's very weak. Longevity, I would say it's more of an average. But yeah, it's still unique in its own way, and this is why I decided to include it. So if you are looking for a more complex citrusy fragrance, then definitely check Citrus Riviera from BDK. Another lemon fragrance, which I was really on the fence if I should include it or not, but then I just decided to go with it, and my next pick is Chanel Chance Eau Fraiche. I know it's a woman targeted fragrance, but trust me, it's totally unisex. I made my husband smell this fragrance and I asked him, what do you think? Is this feminine, masculine? And he said it's totally unisex. So it's not only my opinion. This is so beautiful. I love this fragrance. It's a recent purchase of mine, but I absolutely adore it. This was love at first sniff. I can't believe that it took me so long to try this fragrance. This is lemon, citron, has a little bit of a woody touch, has a floral touch. Again, one of the complex citrusy fragrances, but the whole composition is absolutely beautiful. And it has one of the best performance from like the fragrances that I have. I would say, yeah, it performs on me almost the same like Mandarine Basilic. Yeah, almost the same longevity and sillage. This is more of a casual fragrance, such an easy-going fragrance. It's just a no-brainer. It's something that if you don't know what to wear, you just grab it during the summer and you are good to go. It's refreshing, but not too much, has a little bit of a classiness to it. So it's very versatile, very beautiful. And for a citrus, it performs very well in my opinion. So I just love it. I just love it. It's slowly becoming one of my absolute favorite fragrances. And that says a lot. So my pick for a complex citrusy fragrance for lemon lovers is Chance Eau Fraiche from Chanel. Now let's move to Bergamot, and this is my absolute favorite from all the citrus notes. It's used in a lot of fragrances as a top note, as you all know, but I chose the one where the bergamot is the main character, like the main player. And my first pick is Bvlgari Magnifying Bergamot. This is so beautiful. This is a strict bergamot, so if you are a true bergamot lover, definitely check this one. It's kind of a sweetish bergamot, so it's bergamot combined with a little bit of sweet notes, but it's not a sweet fragrance in any way. Very fresh, has a moderate longevity and sillage. This is from the Allegoria line that Bvlgari came out with a couple of months ago. I did a dedicated video on the whole line, which I didn't upload it yet. So I will definitely do that in the coming days, and when I do, I will leave it linked up here and in the description. So the Magnifying line is more of a base. So the whole idea behind the Allegra line is layering. So you can use them to modify the 5 fragrances that they came out with, but definitely you can use them for layering with any other fragrance. And for me, I use this one totally alone because I love bergamot, and having a very strict bergamot is for me heaven. Love it. That said, it's overpriced. I will be totally honest with you. It's totally overpriced, but I absolutely love it, and this is why I decided to buy it, although I think it's overpriced. So yeah, Magnifying Bergamot, a must for someone who wants to have a strict bergamot fragrance. My next pick for a bergamot-based fragrance is between Acqua Allegoria Bergamot Calabria and Acqua di Parma Bergamotto di Calabria. And shockingly, I went with Acqua Allegoria this time, because to me it has more emphasis on the bergamot. Although you can smell the bergamot in both of them, but if I have to choose, this, like, Acqua Allegoria has more of the bergamot in it, and it's less sweet. It has also better longevity and sillage. So yeah. FYI, the new flanker of Bergamotto di Calabria, La Spugnatura, is amazing. If you are a bergamot lover, definitely you have to check that one. But it's leaning masculine, so it's very sharp and bitter. It's like you can smell the quality in it. If you want to see my first impression, I will leave the video where I did a first impression on La Spugnatura and other fragrances in the eye up here and in the description down below. But the only reason why I didn't buy that one, because for me it leans a little bit masculine. So anyway, let's return to Acqua, Allegoria, Bergamote, Calabria. This is again an aromatic bergamot. It has, along with the bergamot, also petitgrain, ginger and cardamom, and the whole result here is a very fresh bergamot. It's not very sharp, it's not bitter, but you get a little bit of a green touch from the petitgrain, a little bit of spice from the cardamom. Although it has ginger, but it's not very sharp, you know, in your face like a lot of ginger fragrances. It's very lovely. I absolutely love it. It has a musky undertone, so it smells clean and fresh. Again, a perfect fragrance to wear for after the shower. Easy reach. Yeah, it's just an easygoing fragrance. It has a moderate longevity, but the sillage is a little bit weak. It's like weak to average, something in between. So for someone who is looking for a citrus aromatic fragrance with like a hint of spiciness and loves bergamot, definitely check Bergamote Calabria from the Acqua Allegoria from Guerlain. Next category is lime, and the fragrance that I chose for that one is a very special one that I think will be added to my collection very soon, and this is Bohemian Lime from Goldfield and Banks. This is so beautiful and the sillage of this one is absolutely amazing. So the whole line in general has a very beautiful sillage. So when you smell the fragrance like up close, it doesn't give justice because the sillage is amazing. It's just amazing, and this is one of them. I absolutely love it. The lime used here is not your typical lime, it's finger lime. This is a variety of lime that grows only in Australia. It has a little bit of a balsamic undertone, a little bit sweet. So it's not your typical lime, but I absolutely love it. It has like a lot of fragrances from that line, Vetiver and Sandalwood from Australia. But it's so beautiful, very refreshing. And as I said, the sillage is just amazing. This is from all the fragrances that I talked about today. This is the best when it comes to longevity and sillage. I love it. I absolutely love it. And as I said, I think this will be added very soon to my collection. I already filmed a whole buying guide of Goldfield and Banks, which hopefully I will upload after this video. And again, when I do, I will leave it linked up here and in the description down below. Let me tell you, if you love summer fragrances in general and unique fragrances, fresh fragrances, this brand will be for you. So definitely stay tuned for my buying guide for Goldfield and Banks. So with that, I finished my selection. Of course, these are not everything that I have, but these are my absolute favorites. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. And if you did, please give it a thumb up. Consider subscribing to my channel. Please tell me in the comments down below what is your absolute favorite citrus fragrance or your go-to fragrance when it comes to very hot and humid days. Definitely stay tuned for more episodes for my summer series and also my buying guide for Goldfield and Banks and much more. So definitely hit also the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao.